Do this shit until they murder me.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another World of Tanks console video. My name is Xenozach and today we'll be going over the March overview. And apologies again for this, I really do have to apologize. It's been a little bit since I posted anything, I think it's been a week, and quite a bit since I've actually streamed. That again is just to me being burnt out a little bit on tanks. However, that will not stop me from being able to put out content for you guys, as I still have tank reviews to do for the Yazi, the Alpine Tiger, and one of the other tanks that we'll be going over in the March overview, along with it anyway. So March overview: Luck of War, Tank Madness, and Final Four, new heroes, and more. Let's get started. So March marks the arrival of spring, and we've got a treasure trove of special events and new in-game content to celebrate the season of rebirth and to heat things up and melt away what's left of winter. Are you feeling lucky? Now, if you're familiar with March from last year's event, it basically started off with Tank Madness. They're basically carrying over quite a few of the events from last year from what I'm seeing, and that's kind of good. I'd like the fact that we have a yearly event that we can look forward to for gamers, or for tankers in this case. That's very good of them. However, if you could just kindly wargaming bring back that tugboat that we all want, you'd probably get a lot more praise. Let's move into it though. This month's Tank Madness even pits the nation against nation in exhilarating showdowns and every weekend, and for the days in between. You can look forward to a new premium hero, the return of old favorites to the store, powerful additions to the premium tech tree offers, and ops to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and even more surprises yet to be announced. Tank Madness is from March 2nd to the 29th. And before I keep going, because again we'll be going through this, that picture looks cool, by the way. I really do like this one. Might make this my background. This is actually really cool. What is that? An E100, the Chieftain, or is this a Centennial? This is a Centennial Chieftain. This makes no sense. They should have just put the regular Chieftain, but I guess they wanted to opt out for their hero tank. But you know, so Type 5 versus the Kranwagen. Trying to see to the back. That's the Type 61. That's a T125. That's the Sturzwang. Or is it S1? That's probably the S1. I don't know. This might be the 113 back here. Might be the 113. Type 61 versus a 113. Okay, that makes more sense. Anyway. The March Madness College Basketball Tournament kicks off this month in the U.S. So if you're familiar with this, I believe the analogy should pretty much translate over if you into some of the sports. I'm not really big on sports. I'm a gamer first and then sports. However you might be in own cases, you know, congratulations. The madness is spreading a world of tanks. It's nation versus nation throughout March as the world takes to the battlefield every weekend for the ultimate showdown. Fight for spoils and glory, with the winning nation scoring a heavy prize. So, apologies again for covering this a little bit late. I'm releasing this on the 5th of March. If you were able to play over the weekend between March 2nd and 4th, you will be able to rekindle the spirit of 1966 as Germany takes on the UK. British versus German tanks. That was kind of favoring the Germans to begin with, so there is no real competition in that one. It's very odd that they decided to go with that one, but since the Soviets are clearly out of this one, you can't really put them in here. Now, if you're wondering what happened to, if you're paying attention to the flags on screen, what happened to the Russian tanks, well, unfortunately for you, or fortunately for the Soviet people, from Tank Bowl, you guys are the champions of Tank Bowl 2018, so you get to carry out the, you know what, I don't know what to call it, the pain-giving stick? You basically carry the torch on for the next year, and you do not have to participate in March Madness. Now, I don't know if there's a Tank Bowl bonus that's still going on, but because you won, well, you know, you don't get to participate. Although I don't think you need to. Anyway, moving on, March 9th to the 11th, France fights it out with Japan, and okay, then that was a Type 61 and a 113. So this is an interesting bout. Next week we'll be going through, you know, between the French and the Japanese tanks, I think I would say French will probably win. And that's simply because currently the AMX 1390 and some of the French tanks are technically doing a little bit better on the battlefield than you see Japanese. Because most of the time when you see any Japanese tank, it'll be a Type 4, Type 5 on high tiers. Um, I really rarely see the STA one. I see the STA two, just not as much. But that's an interesting bout. But I think I'll give the French for that one. For the British versus Germany, German was pretty much hands down gonna win that. Sorry, British tanks, but fair is fair. Czechoslovakian takes the fight to China, March 16th to the 18th. Now, this is an interesting bout as I feel like these are two least played nations currently. No offense to anyone who drives Chinese tanks. I drive the TVP, the Tier 10 Czechoslovakian. The grind through the TVP is definitely one of those turn-offs for non-veteran players. Or anyone new to the game, unless you really knew about the TVP. But the Chinese line, I'm definitely not a fan of. I have hard times going with any tank that lacks gun depression. Um, that's probably my least played nation. Now, I'm not saying probably, it is my least played nation. I've grinded through a lot of the other tiers or tanks, but the Chinese is definitely one of those ones that I basically just grinded through to get the achievement, and that was it. I put it to the side. Although I picked up the Chinese hero tanks, but moving on. The final part of the month will lead us with Sweden and the USA put an end to the end of Tank Madness, March 23rd to the 25th. And unfortunately for Sweden, America's going to win this one. And as soon as I said that, everybody's going to rush to Sweden's side because that's exactly what happened with the Tank Bowl. Every time you say you're going to play Americans, Russians tend to win. So you know what? We should have all said Russians, and then Russia still would have won. Um, Unfortunately, that was one of those cases. America gets a second shot in this one. They get to round off the end of Tank Madness throughout the end of the year. Again, American tanks are normally all-arounders. They're quite playable compared to the Swedish tanks that are kind of in a niche position when it comes to new players. Majority of players will either go for one of three nations when starting this game: Russian, German, then Americans. That's the top three nations in the game from in that order. And when you end up with the Americans with quite a hefty tech tree in its hands, fortunately for the Swedish lines, the basic you know the desire for the tank is basically just for the siege mode and to try it out. And if you don't like the siege mode, you sell it off, and you basically most people would give up the line after that because the siege mode is the only real cool mechanic about the Swedish line. But apart from their ripoff of the 50B, I don't really consider the Kranvagn a ripoff. It's a really good tank. If only I could drive it a lot better. Moving on though, St. Patrick's Day will be March 13th to April 2nd. We're celebrating Ireland's National Day during the second half of March. Earn incredible prizes from our Luck of the Irish shop and get your hands on the brand new hero tank from the Emerald Island? Wait, what? Did they really just put the Ripper pattern? It looks like the Ripper pattern. Maybe there's a new tank I'm not noticing. That's just the Ripper pattern with a 4-leaf clover emblem on the side. So maybe that's not it. That's going to be interesting. I don't know what tank they could introduce. It's probably leading them on. Anyway, Premium Tech Tree, the final countdown. Get your tanks before the end of March. Since December, we brought rarities aplenty to the Premium Tech Tree every weekend. Every week. March is your last chance to get your hands on the tanks from this rockin' roster before it goes away for a while, so don't delay. If you haven't had the chance to get any of those, please check out the Premium Tech Tree in the Tech Tree tab to be able to check to see if any of the tanks that you would like to own or purchase are in that. Just a message from Friendly Tanker. New surprises and old favorites throughout March. Stay tuned to the portal throughout March for the host of awesome content. Old favorites return as we celebrate International Women's Day on March 8th and Canine Veterans Day on March 13th. And there are even more surprises planned out for the rest of the month. You won't want to miss it. Now, if you're noticing the picture on screen, that is right. The Fighting Girlfriend will be returning to the store. I guess it's an attempt to sell it on March 8th for International Women's Day, and the Rudy will be sold on March 13th. That's what the canine. Now the Rudy, I'm a little bit more interested in, because the Rudy with its crew actually has a different sounding sixth sense. I believe it's a dog barking to alert you instead of the standard light bulb beeping. It is still the light bulb sign, but the dog barks instead. It's the only one in World of Tanks console. There are mod packs on PC that you can modify the sound of it. However, on console, they haven't really give us that option yet. Hopefully, later on we can look forward to something like that. The Fighting Girlfriend, I have a tank review on this channel. If you guys would like to check this out, just head over onto the playlists, go down to console tank reviews, and you should be able to. I want to say that's in the top 7 of the console tank reviews. I've progressively gotten more detailed tank reviews as I've kept going, and the Fighting Girlfriend has one of my more interesting tank reviews as far as my own take, because I believe that one I did I got a loan from Wargaming for that one, but if you can, just check it out. Let me know what you think, and just leave a comment on that video letting me know you watched it as well. Emblems for this month, of course, St. Patrick's Day will bring around the Leprechaun, the pot of gold with the, I think this is it a pot of gold? I was going to say it's a mug, but I see the other handle. A pot of gold with the World of Tanks emblem on the front, and the, what is that, Leprechaun hat? I know this has a name, but let's just call it the Leprechaun hat for now. St. Patrick's Day emblem will be available from March 2nd to April 3rd, so they should be currently available in the customization screen. Just head over to any tank, go to customization, emblems, and there you go. You just have to go into the specials. I believe it should be in specials, yeah. Canine emblems will be available from March 6th to April 3rd with the paw with the wreath. You know what? I'll just call this a Doberman. Let's go Doberman, German Shepherd. Was it Dalmatian? Looks like a Dalmatian. And I know this. Come on. It's a little bit. Can't really tell. Other dog. That one works. So before we end off this one, I'm going to try to keep this March overview a little bit short. Let's get into the hero tank that's available currently for you to purchase, and that is the HMH Chrysler K. Congratulations, console, for bringing over the Chrysler K. Now, they're not going with the PC version that had the Chrysler K Grand Finals. It's just the Chrysler K with its Heavy Metal Hero. This is a part of the brand new Heavy Metal Hero. I'm not going to play the video. I will leave a link down in the description to access this on the portal if you want to check out the video, because I don't want it to be monetized by anyone claiming that their video from the music, because again, I'm just playing back from their portal. So you guys, I'll just leave a link down in the description. Just head over to that, click on it, and you'll be able to come watch the video for it. I know World of Tanks console also has they're starting up their own YouTube channel. I'll try to leave a link down in the description for that as well, for you guys to hit it up, subscribe to them, and keep in touch with whatever content that they release. So get into the fray with the HMH Chrysler K and bring Armored Annihilation to your foes in the brand new limited edition bundles, only available until March 26th. So this one's going to be a little bit before, so keep in mind all the bundles, March 26th, that's when it ends. Tank Madness, I believe that's before the last week of Tank Madness, so keep that in mind. That's the Thursday. Let me just double check that. That is the Monday Yep, so that's the weekend right after Tank Madness. Keep that in mind. So the last American versus Swedish, the very next day is the last time, and that'll be removed on the Tuesday morning from the store, but just giving you guys a heads up. The Heavy Metal Hero is a tier 8 heavy tank which suits a headstrong and fearless approach. Fronted with outstanding turret armor, charge enemies' ranks without exposing its flank, and unleash the HMH Chrysler K in an earth-shattering close combat showdowns. Your enemies won't know what hit them. Sure. Roll out and rock the battlefield with the HMH Chrysler K and make most of your brand new War Machine by pairing it up with the Badass Brawler, the Tier 8 HMH AMX M4 MLE 49. I also have a tank review for that, if you guys want to check that out. Again, the playlist on the channel should be able to guide you through. It's on the console tank reviews that I do on here. I believe that was released with the HMH AMX 1357. So yeah, that was the previous heavy metal bundle. Heaviest metal mega bundle. You'll be able to purchase both of them for 23,000 gold. The Chrysler K is also available in the Ultimate Bundle, with loaded and base bundles available at later dates throughout the month. Make the most of the new addition to your garage by earning an extra 25% crew XP on any tank from the heaviest metal op. Available as a bonus with any of the HMH Chrysler K bundle. They'll be gone on March 26th, so get them before they disappear. So if you purchase this, because I did, I wanted the Chrysler K. I didn't get a loan this time around. Whenever I want a tank, I just purchase it. And if I ever feel like I'm a little bit hesitant on it, I would just go about getting a loan for More Gaming to do the tank review for you guys and keep you guys up to date with it. However, this time I was a little bit interested in the Chrysler K and didn't want to be kind of tied down to their system of praising tanks, so to speak. Nah. Honest, open and honest is the way to go. So the Chrysler K and the AMX M4 MLE 49 for 22,300 gold. Okay, so that's what it was. So the way this op works is it doesn't apply just to that tank. It's a bonus op that's automatically active for any of your any tank. So if you have a tank that you're grinding out crew experience on, or you need to grind out crew experience on, then if you purchase any of the bundles up until March 26th, you get a 25% increase on your crew training. So that's an additional, apart from the, if you use crew training tanks, you might be able to get up a crew. I think I might do this for my French tanks now, thinking about it, because my 1390 has a pretty bad crew right now. This might help me. The HMH Chrysler K Ultimate by itself with 100% trained crew, 1 garage slot, 7 days of premiums, 15 times 3 experience boosts. The Ace Op and the bonus Heavy Metal Op for 15% will run you 12,800. And I believe this is the one I purchased so that I'd be able to do the tank review fairly quickly for you guys. I am lacking on the Alpine Tiger and the Yasi. Again, apologies for that. I will try to get that out this week for you guys prior to the bundles or the tanks leaving the store, hopefully. Please look forward to that during the week. So, what is my comment on this? If you don't know what the Chrysler K is, it was pretty much one of those tanks that almost shattered the PC world with the Surfosh incident. Now, if you don't know what that incident is, I'm not going to be going over that here. There's plenty of videos that you can search up. I'm pretty sure on YouTube that still have that. The Chrysler K was pretty much one of these overpowered tanks on, as far as, I won't say overpowered, it was a pretty underpowered tank on PC that made you, forced you to kind of load premium more than you would on a standard tank. The tank carries about 85 rounds of ammunition, if I remember right, and majority of your rounds would pretty much be premium, as the penetration on the standard APU rounds is 198. For a tier 8 with non-preferential matchmaking such as this, 198 is kind of on the downside, which was my remark on the King Dragon. When tanks get non-preferential matchmaking, is a tank really worth it? Depends on how much you really want the tank. In this case, because I need to do a tank review for you guys, and I kind of wanted to see how it played out on console to be able to give proper feedback to Wargaming. In all the games I've played, I can honestly tell you, not really. It's mediocre. Now, I won't say it's mediocre. It's an in between. I haven't had some of the greatest games in this tank. However, I do know quite a few people have some remarkable ace tankers in this game, or in this tank, in this game and this tank. However, I haven't been able to, so I'm trying to get a few more games into it before I can give my final thoughts on it, and that'll be going over into the tank review. You guys can look forward to that again this week, as I will again be trying to release as much content this week to make up for the past week. So look forward to that and the coming week for any content that will be coming out for us or from me. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to cover as much of this as possible. Again, apologies for those of you that watch me on Twitch, or if you are just watching me here on YouTube. I've been a little bit sidetracked for the most part. Hopefully, I'll be able to present you guys some good news by the end of the week if I get some definites from Wargaming. But look forward to those tank reviews. Hope you guys can still enjoy the content I produce, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good night.
Without